Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Alex StarCraft here, bringing you guys another StarCraft 2 commentary. In this game, or this time I should say, we're going to be doing a little bit more of an analytical casting, I guess you would say. A bunch of people who saw my Stephano 12-minute max ZVP guide wanted to see a game where the Protoss player actually did some pressure before the 11-minute mark, when Stephano really started to kick into gear with 160 supply plus of roaches. So this game is going to be a game between Millennium Stephano and TSLInori. He is the red Protoss up here. But I'm going to go ahead and say we are going to be focusing a bit more on exactly what Stephano is doing. Now, I'm going to post this as a response to the build, or to the build guide, and on this video you'll see a little link at the bottom near the end or near the beginning where I will be posting a link to my ZVP guide. So if you haven't seen it, you will go see it. And of course, Stephano is going to be doing that exact build during this game. The caveat being that Inori during this game plays a very greedy style. You'll see it coming out right here, where he actually takes advantage of the fact that Stephano doesn't really scout. Stephano's special in that way where he doesn't scout. You guys should always do some scouting, just a little bit, just to see exactly what they're doing. Like, make sure they're force fast expanding, for example. But Inori does a very, very greedy style, and as a result has some very powerful pushes at a bit of an earlier time than most would come. Most Protoss gateway timing pushes, such as a 6 gate, which we're going to see in this video, would be coming at around the 9-minute mark. However, in this game, Inori hits his opponent around 8:25, and for those of you who saw the Stephano build video, you generally you wouldn't start producing units ideally until around the 9-minute mark. So as a result, you'll see what happens with the resulting drone counts. So right now, I mean, we just see Stephano doing everything totally standard, getting that pool on 14 as always, and trying to get up this hatch as fast as he can, and he does manage to get it up, and Nor is not able to block that. And then we're going to go ahead and see him. I think it will be, okay, no, he already has his second Overlord, so then he's going to go ahead and build probably a Queen, and then Zerglings as soon as he can. Only 2 Zerglings, though, aka one larva's worth, not 2 pairs of Zerglings. But yeah, we see Inori. I was talking about a greedy build. You see what he went. He went for the pylon, and then of course the Nexus first, then the Forge, then the Gateway, then the pylon, then he's going to be going for a cannon once that pylon finishes. But you'll see, like, if Stephano was to 10 pool, for example, and just send in 6 Zerglings, they would be here like now, and Inori would just kind of die because he just wouldn't have anything. But Stephano is not a player like that. He instead prefers to do big macro play because he's, of course, extremely successful at that, taking out a lot of really good players at this past weekend's MLG Spring Arena number 2. He actually came in 3rd place at that. Very, very cool. Watched almost that entire thing and watched the GSL finals. For any of you guys that did not see or hear about that, you need to go try and find a way to watch Game 5 of that series. Most insane thing I've ever seen, and unfortunately I missed Flash playing StarCraft 1, but he did play StarCraft 1 this weekend, for those of you that do not know, in the SK Planet Pro League opening day ceremonies, or opening day matches, I guess you would say, whatever you want to call it. And there's the Cybercore coming down from Inori. There's him throwing up these 2 gases. And there's Stephano with his 3rd hatch well on the way. Transferring the Queen. I think he transfers the Queen. It's an interesting timing. And the way I told you guys to do it is start your 2nd Queen at this hatchery right after the 1st one. Then throw down your 3rd. Then when this natural is up, build your 3rd Queen there. Now, Stephano doesn't, again, always do that. You see he transfers the Queen. He doesn't do that 100% of the time, but occasionally he'll do little things like this, where he knows the timings will work out well, and it'll benefit him in some little way. I don't know that. I'm not that good. Most people aren't that good, so I just stick with the, you know, this Queen would pop, I would probably build a creep tumor with it, then send it to my 3rd. I wouldn't send it to my 3rd, like, preemptively or anything. But there we go. There's that other Queen. It's Stephano up on 34 drones, getting those 2 gases, right around 44 food, as I had said in my video, and that is what he always does. You get the 2 gases right around 44 food. And this should be right around when your 3rd base is popping. And he's just making drones. And now we do see Stephano. He had both the Xel'Naga towers, I believe. And there is 1 Zealot running across, and he will see the 2nd Zealot running across. So he says, okay, that's going to be a little bit of pressure. And we already see in the production tab, Warp Gate is only around a minute away from finishing, and that does not even include Chrono Boost. So that is going to be a very early push. So he does see it coming. You see him throwing down his Roach Horn and Evo Chamber at the normal time. And until then, he's mostly going to be relying on Lings for defense. Now, Lings for defense are very, very good. You see, the Zealots do not yet have +1, which Stephano probably realizes. Because +1 Zealots, for those of you that don't know, are infinitely more effective versus Zerglings. +1 ground weapons allows a Zealot to kill a Zergling in 2 hits instead of 3. And that has a world of difference. If you kill Zerglings 33% faster over the course of a battle, that's going to be absolutely insane. And that's why you don't really see Zerglings versus Protoss when they're doing these gateway timings, because of that weakness. But you do see Stephano, he does have his stuff up. Now you see the proxy pylon, we see 2 proxy pylons going up. And one quick thing I do want to point out is Stephano actually did, I missed it, but let's see how to say this. You see, because of Stephano's map vision, there's no way the probe could get from Inori's base to Stephano's without Stephano seeing it, because he had the Zelnaka Tower. He saw it coming, and I believe that is that reason why he's just more or less stopping with drones. You see, he's only at 46, about to be 49, and he is just making units, because he says, okay, there's an attack coming soon. Something tells Stephano he's going to be hitting me really soon with an attack. I can't keep making drones like I would normally like to. And you see, these pylons are done, and the first warp-in is happening. It is only the 8-minute, 20-second mark. You have a Twilight Council on the way as well, so Stephano has a lot of Zerglings and a few Roaches waiting here. No Ling speed yet. But you see, Stephano, he's not going to engage, particularly not off of creep without the Ling speed. He's just trying to make sure he does not lose the Queen, he does not lose any drones, and that is the key of doing Stephano style. Lose anything, but don't lose your drones, don't lose your queens. Don't pull your drones off the line. Basically, let them mine for as long as possible, and then pull them just totally away if you need to. Do not attack with them. And you see Stephano just making as many Roaches as he can, and when he doesn't have the gas, he's just making Zerglings, making Overlords. So you see, this is a lot of Zerglings. Ling speed is now done, finally. He does have the creep advantage, but Inori actually opts to throw up a cannon here, so that's very interesting. Will help him if he does choose to engage right around that. But Stephano is going to be running out with all these Zerglings. He actually got a flank as well, so he's going to get the total surround on these army. And you see the Zealots with that +1 doing very good. You hear the Zerglings dying very fast, but it looks like Stephano is going to have enough Zerglings to hold off this push. You see almost every single Zergling died, but now that it's just Roaches, and he puts the Zerglings on the Stalkers. Zerglings are very good against Stalkers, Zealots against Roaches, so that's when I should say, Zerglings are good against Stalkers, Roaches are good against Zealots, and that is when this little bit of micro comes into play. But you do see Stephano killed the cannon. He has a lot of units, and Nori is still warping in, but he is in retreat. You see there's a whole bunch more Zerglings flooding across the map, 12 Roaches on the way, as well as 10 more Zerglings. So even with that 49 drone economy, you see Stephano still has a pretty solid income right here. 1,600, 1,700 minerals, and 300 gas. So that's going to be, of course, you know, he can make roughly 20 Roaches each minute with that. And of course, that is really going to help him out there. A bit less than 20 Roaches each minute, which is definitely not bad. And here we see he's pushing Inori back across the map. You know he has the advantage, and that is one other key thing. Generally, when you hold off a Protoss gateway timing like that, it means you can counter-attack them, because they're not going to have a whole lot of units back home if you were able to kill all the units that he were that. And you see Stephano focusing down the Cyber Core. This is something I think I mentioned in the previous video. When you're trying to break their wall, focus things like the Cyber Core or the Forge. Those are the buildings that will hurt the most, particularly because, as I said, Zealot's not the best against Roaches, so now he can't make Stalkers, the one unit he has, which is good against the Roaches, and he loses power on the Gateway and the Forge and the Robo, which he does have up now. And Stephano is starting to break into the base. He has about double supply of his opponent right now. And honestly, I'm just going to say, we're going to be seeing the GG from Inori in just a minute. You see, he actually does have Blink, but, you know, when there's this many Roaches inside your base, it's not the best thing in the world. So, I'll see if I can find another video where he does something against a more standard timing so you can see it. But the thing with the Stephano video, or the Stephano style, as I showed to you guys, or as I said, it lets you get 3 bases with about 60 to 70 drones by the time and hold off any gateway timing, and that's why it is so good, or any 2-base Protoss timing, really, and generally deny their third if they go for it. The thing is, it is a build which is very how would I say, very, very streamlined. If you mess something up and are late by 15 seconds on your unit production, that can honestly kill you. So you just have to practice, and you have to make sure, above all, that you are scouting. You want to send in an Overlord, which Stephano does not do because he's awesome, but you want to send in an Overlord to their base right around when you grab your lair, see if they are building a whole bunch of gateways, see if they're getting a robo, see what they're doing, and that'll let you know, are they going to go for a gateway timing or not. So I will try and find another video that can be a little bit of more of a guide for those who are curious. But for anyone else, let me know in the comments if there's anything else you want to see, and I hope this helped you guys see exactly how Stephano will hold against any pre-11-minute gateway timing. Have a wonderful afternoon, everyone.